Yes.
Andy, please.
Andy? Oh, Andy! Oh, my roommate. He's probably in his room.
Mr. Lascaris, we meet again?
Yes, Miss Weiss. Walt, get her a chair, please.
Of course.
Jesus, you really are all the same.
Excuse me?
You screenwriters, always absorbed in your own damn work.
Oh. Sorry.
Here you are, man.
Thank you. So, do you mind if I smoke?
Yes.
See, I stopped asking if you wanted one 4 screenplays ago. Someday I'll stop asking if you mind.
You see, my mom was a smoker.
And shouldn't this pleasantly remind you of her?
No, I hated my mother.
Oh, of course you do.
Excuse me?
Classic starving artist who hates his parents.
I love my father, though.
And let me guess, he never smoked a pack in his life?
No. He was a cigar man.
He was? Did he pass?
No. He quit.
He quit cigars?
Well, technically he died, but sometimes quitting cold turkey involves becoming the cold turkey.
What are we here for again?
The screenplay.
Ah, yes. The masterpiece.
I wouldn't quite call it a masterpiece.
Then why am I here?
Because it's damn good.
You sure seem to think so, reading it over again.
No. I was just reading through it to see if it would offend you in the first read.
And?
It's gonna sting, I'm sure.
And that's?
A damn good thing.
Well, then I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
The Academy sure did.
The Academy?
Professor Welch gave it a read.
And?
He hated it.
Well, that guarantees commercial success.
No, I mean, he really hated it.
Well, that guarantees film festival success, and we like that kind of publicity.
So you're going for commercial success and publicity?
We wouldn't produce movies if we weren't.
Well, then I can't give you a movie.
And why is that?
Because this is a film.
You pretentious ass!
I'm not kidding, Joanne.
Neither am I!
This is a film in its truest human form.
I call bullshit in its truest human form.
You want a movie? Go talk to my friend Steven. He's putting together a piece of shit shark movie.
I know. We just picked it up.
Oh, good for you guys. Now, you'll be leaving my house, right?
Sit down, you asshole. Now tell me the difference.
Between what?
Between a movie and a film.
Okay, let's take a second to respect the existential moment I'm having. A movie executive is sitting in my house asking me what a film is.
Now, Andy, I didn't ask that.
Oh, wow, I guess you're right. There's a huge difference in what you asked me and what I said you asked me, right?
Screw
Just like I didn't ask to write bullshit blockbusters for the rest of my career.
Just tell me the difference, you bastard!
Well, since you're asking politely now, let's start with the very basic fabric of a...
A what?
I'm trying to think of a word that encompasses a movie and a film.
A cinematic experience.
Oh, you're right.
I'm a producer. I know what I'm talking about.
First of all, no, you work for a production company. Second of all, no, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Third, I meant you're right sarcastically.
Sarcastically?
What? You have to be a writer to understand that concept as well?
The hell are you talking about, Lascaris?
Earlier in the conversation, you called me a pretentious ass. And just now you used the two words cinematic experience.
So?
Well, those are quite possibly the only other two words besides pretentious in the exemplary sentence for the definition of pretentious.
Will you just tell me the goddamn difference?
I already am.
Jesus.
I told you. I'm stepping as far into the fabric of an audio-visual presentation as I possibly can.
You haven't told me anything yet.
Exactly. It's because I'm creating tension. You see, You don't have a story without some kind of conflict or tension. Otherwise, your viewer gets bored of your presentation and moves on. A movie's tension doesn't even necessarily exist on its own. It's just kind of assumed. With bad action scenes and cheap dialogue written by chimps to keep it simple for all walks of life.
Does that include the chimps?
Will you please listen when I'm talking?
I have a really bad hangover. Do you guys want coffee?
1 milk, 1 sugar.
Yeah, I'll take it black.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Continue your pretentiousness.
Do you know what the average attention span of an American is?
An hour.
You're very confident.
I'm very annoyed.
You're close.
You're gonna make me guess?
You're close.
Fine. 2 hours.
7 seconds.
I wasn't close at all.
Oh, I know. But your attention was shifting elsewhere. You were getting annoyed, so I had to create a cheap tension to keep you focused. A movie does the same thing. Instead of bringing an audience deep into the film, it coasts them along for a cheap thrill ride of bad scares and worse edits.
So a film brings the audience in through tension?
Well, that among many, many other things.
Such as...
Such as character development. People connect to other people when they watch them grow and change. Originality, twisting and turning the plot so that it isn't familiar to the viewer, yet it isn't absurd.
So, this is a film that does all that?
And some.
Oh, so it's a mega film.
First of all, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard. Second of all, in order to be considered a film, it has to bring something extra that no other has really brought before.
Are these set in stone rules that you screenwriters have?
No, just debate points.
Do you guys fight a lot?
Screenwriter means fighter in Latin.
No, it doesn't.
It should.
So what does this thick pile of paper have that makes it a film?
Well, for starters, it has a story that avoids cliches.
And what are some movie cliches?
Cheap scares and one-liners are a good place to start, but some more include social commentary on bullying, money problems, breakups, suicide, and the worst of them, being yourself.
So you just completely avoid these topics?
I have completely forgotten their existence.
Why bullying?
Because it's so damn easy to get people to feel for the one kid who's being shit on by everybody else on the screen. It's cheap, it's boring, and it's stupid. And you know what? It just makes the intelligent people feel like shit for not actually giving a shit about the kid in the movie because they know they wouldn't give a shit in real life.
So tell me about this screenplay.
Well, there's this guy.
And?
Seriously? You think I'm going to sit there and rant about cliches and then introduce my screenplay with, well, there's this guy?
Oh. I'm sorry, you're right. How stupid of me. Damn it, Andy! I'm tired of this! Cut to the chase.
It's about sacrifice. A man who gives up everything because that's what he thinks he's supposed to do. He grows up his whole life hearing, if you love something, let it go. And he does. And it ruins him.
So what does this film have that separates it from the rest?
The tablecloth theory.
Explain.
It's a personal recipe I've been working on. We build up the audience's connection to the main character, and then we pull the tablecloth out from under them, like the magic trick. Except, instead of magically staying up, the audience falls with the main character into a deep spiral. The reason it works here is because we start out at what we think is the bottom of the spiral, and we rise up and up and up, and then we lose everything and end up lower than we started. No happy ending. No big kiss. No one-liners. No bullies. And he doesn't ever once learn about being his goddamn self.
It sounds intriguing, to say the least. But I have one question.
Yes?
Who in their sane fucking mind would go see this heaping pile of garbage?
You haven't even read it.
What kind of deep and depressing piece of bull is going to sell?
Listen, I've got 3 other production companies lined up to read and produce this, so don't give me your shit.
No, seriously. Where would I find a director who's willing to take such a deep blow to their career?
You're looking at him.
You?
Me.
No.
Yes.
Nobody's going to go for that.
This film already has what nobody else has. Originality, the tablecloth.
Hold on a second. You didn't start that, okay? Don't take credit for that. It's been done before. Everything's been fucking done before.
Some tension here, Miss Weiss?
You don't know how difficult it is to find a screenplay different than the last.
You have no idea how difficult it is to write them.
True. But I do know that it takes an experienced director to pull it off on screen.
And what makes a director experienced? Hours behind a camera?
No, of course not.
Then what is it?
Refined artistic vision.
This screenplay is my refined artistic vision. Who better than the creator to bring it to life?
I just don't think it'll fly, Andy. I like you, but...
No, you don't. You don't like me. You need me. You're afraid that I'll direct a train wreck that I thought would be awesome, I'll get discouraged, and I'll never write you a moneymaker again. This is more of a business move than you think it is.
You're right about one thing.
And that is?
I don't like you. Listen, kid. The shit you write is fantastic. It's exactly what this industry needs in a time of sequels and shark movies. But I don't believe that you can do it, despite your artistic vision. There's something missing in your little definition of a film.
And what is that?
Passion.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned passion.
You didn't. Listen, you've got a great story here, I'm sure. I believe in your skill.
But you don't believe I have passion?
I don't.
After all the arguing that we just did, you don't believe that I have passion?
You've got passion, but it's in the wrong place. I've seen it in too many young directors in high schools and colleges around the country. They're all angry, and they think it's passion. They're angry at others for making movies instead of films. But who gives them that right, huh? Tell me, what gives you the right to discern them?
I write them.
Sure. Fine. But you don't make them. If that definition of film that needs to involve originality and character development and tablecloth crap is the true definition, then I've never seen a true film. I've only seen, and produced for that matter, a lot of spin-offs. You don't get to tell me and the movie makers of this world that we're doing it wrong when you're doing it just as wrong. You're saying this plot was inspired by anything? Tennessee Williams, William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, Arthur Miller, Lorraine Hansberry. You're saying your work wasn't inspired by any of these authors? Well then, based on your definition of a film that states the necessity for complete originality, I can indirectly say that this is a heaping pile of dog shit. This is indirectly a movie. You've got no passion. You only have passion to be better than anyone else. You've got a heaping pile of everybody else's dog shit. Those great playwrights, they copied each other. They stole each other's ideas and made them their own and pretended they were different. You've done the same thing with the same work.
That's one way to look at it.
Please. Explain.
Nobody ever said influence is bad. Influence is how we advance as a species. It's how we learn and grow. We learn from each other. It's like the chicken and the egg. We don't know what came first, ideas or people. By your statement, no idea is original, and therefore starts somewhere beyond our control. You can call me angry and opinionated all you want, but you're just as angry and opinionated. If you're so angry with the fact that no idea is original, then why would you choose to live any longer? Ideas dictate our life, but you can't stand them. So why not just go home and kill yourself? Because there is hope. We don't know what it's for, but much like these ideas, the hope is coming from somewhere. That's why we as a species make films. Films help us to search for wherever the hell the ideas come from. Movies entertain us on the way there. Without developing these ideas into films that help us make new ideas, we'll never get to the source of the ideas.
And what are you saying the source is?
I make films to find the source, not make claims as to what it is.
So, kid, you're religious?
What?
You haven't jumped to the conclusion that the ideas come from God yet.
That's because that's bullshit. They come from somewhere in human nature. God is just another one of our ideas that comes from a source that we're trying to find. God was supposed to be the answer. We created him to literally be the answer to the source question. But it turns out, he's just another little idea to entertain us on the way.
So, what you're saying is God's just a bad movie?
It's the best of bad movies.
I think we found our director.
Well, I changed my mind about black coffee. Do we have any cream or sugar?
I mean, I can go
Just
check.
take mine. I like my coffee black anyways.
Then why didn't you order it?
Same reason you did. To prove a point.